This is Kuro Salehi Takasomi.
Growing up, Kuro's family struggled financially. His father was a cab driver, and he worked hard 7 days a week to support Kuro, his brother, and his mother. By the time Kuro turned 15, he had his first team competition, and he stopped taking financial support from his parents. In 2013, Kuro's team came in second place in the global championship of his sport. Called Nadas Vencere, which is Latin for born to win, Kuro's team took over $100,000 per player for prize money. And Kuro gave that money to his parents right away, so his parents could live comfortably and visit Iran for the first time in over a decade. Kuro has since made over $4 million in prize money alone to date. Kuro's story should be familiar to sports fans out there. Think about LeBron James. He grew up in Akron, Ohio. He grew up poor. His father was an ex-convict, and he wasn't there when he was growing up. They struggled financially for years. Pele grew up too poor to buy a soccer ball. He learned how to play soccer by filling up nylon socks with grapefruits and newspapers. And Mike Tyson, man, he had a tough life. He was orphaned when he was 16 years old, left in the care of his boxing manager, who became his legal guardian. And these are the stories that sports fans love most. The spirit of a competitor rising from challenging origins. And Kuro's story is no different. You know, Kuro trained physically, mentally, and emotionally to become the top of his sport. He competed nonstop until he reached the highest levels. The only difference is, Kuro's sport was a video game, and it was played in this sold-out arena. My name is Rahul Sood. I'm not a doctor. I'm a video game entrepreneur, and I started my first company when I was 17. That company was called VoodooPC, and I sold that company to HP in 2006. And ever since then and before then, I play games on a daily basis. You can ask my wife. I'm in my mid-40s, and I play video games on a daily basis. And today, I'm the co-founder and CEO of one of the most exciting esports companies in the world, but I'll tell you a little bit about it later. For now, I want to talk about esports. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that everybody should be aware of. Esports are competitive video games that are played by professionals and watched by hundreds of millions of people around the world. Esports are selling out stadiums everywhere. This is Berlin International Gaming, otherwise known as BIG. I always wanted to own a sports team, and my company Unikrn actually helped assemble this team. We chose Germany as our base of operations, mainly because 1 in 5 Germans watch esports. And these guys are crazy. They're super fun, they're very entertaining. They're also the most popular esports team in Germany and very, very popular around the world. 1 year after we started this team, they became top 5 in the world in their game. Here they are in a stadium in Germany, just as they're about to win in a semifinal event. And they were a huge underdog, by the way.
Seeing all the people, they were cheering for us, they were calling our names, and it was one of the best feelings for sure in my life. If you see it in a realistic way, it is way too hard to go to the final even, and now we are here, and tomorrow we have the last game, and I think it will be a good one. We need to take it now for the German fans, for everyone. We will give everything we have for Germany, for all our fans, for big, and Germany will go crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, this was an incredibly proud moment for us. Our logo was everywhere, and if we created 15,000 jerseys, they would have sold out instantly. And I know it seems crazy that you can sell out an arena to watch people play video games, but I've been to many of these events over the years, and these events are fire. They're so entertaining, it's just amazing. But esports events aren't just about stadiums and competitions. They're also about home entertainment. How many of you have heard of Twitch? Okay, a few of you have. Twitch is a new media company that was purchased by Amazon a few years ago for about $1 billion. Twitch is a place where you can go, or gamers can go, and watch their favorite gamers streaming themselves playing video games. We call them streamers. So it's where streamers actually interact with their fans live while playing these games. It's the ultimate form of engagement that only traditional sports can dream about. So to put it in context, think about LeBron James. If you're a fan of basketball, imagine you can watch LeBron at home in his backyard playing basketball for hours at a time while interacting with him. That's Twitch in a nutshell. It's the mecca of fan engagement. In 2008, there was over 560 billion minutes of Twitch watch over 41,000 channels. And at any given time when you log into Twitch, you will see 1 million simultaneous viewers or more watching other people play video games. I know. It's crazy. I mean, like, this is why your kids aren't sitting in the living room with you watching Seinfeld reruns, right? Because they, like many others, are on platforms like Twitch and YouTube Gaming watching other people play video games. This is Tyler Blevins. You want to blow your mind, listen to this guy. This guy started streaming. He's called Ninja, for short. He started streaming in 2011 to about 1,000 fans. He now has 50 million fans that watch him online. Tyler made $10 million in 2018. He now makes over $1 million per month. And game publishers pay him over 7 figures just to stream their games. And I know what you're thinking. You probably have kids who sit on their computer, you're wondering what they're doing all the time. They're not going outside, their friends are all online. But trust me, they're mostly really good kids. I have 3, and they all went through the same thing. They all grew up on the computers. And, one of them streams, the others play games. It's just a normal thing. In fact, it was my son, who was 15 at the time, who got me to quit my job at Microsoft as the GM of Microsoft Ventures to go start an esports company. And I get this all the time. I get in this argument often. Esports are sports. I always win this argument. Firstly, not all athletes are in the prime of athletic condition. This is John Daly. He's a golfer, and he's known very well for his golf, for his drive, I should say. But he's not, if you look at him, he doesn't look like an athlete. Babe Ruth was a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker, and he was so overweight that the Yankees fans still say to this day that the Yankees added pinstripes to their uniforms just to hide his gut. But he's still considered one of baseball's greatest athletes. And these 2 guys, Pasha, Biceps, and Fly, they play video games for a living. But you'd never guess just by looking at them, would you? In order for you to function at your peak in video games, you have to be physically fit. You have to be mentally fit. The best teams have dietitians, they have game coaches, they have personal trainers, and they have team psychologists. Because games like Dota and League of Legends require you to maintain sharp communication and high reaction times, quick reaction times, in order to be the best at these games. And since esports are starting to take over traditional sports in many metrics, universities are starting to offer scholarships for players. All of these universities are offering scholarships on esports. Students who play at the highest levels in games like Dota and League are great leaders, they're really good at math, they're good collaborators, they work well under pressure, they tend to be really nice. They're your ideal students. These aren't the kids who go out and drink and party all the time. These are the kids who focus and want to be good at school, but they're also really damn good at what they do. In fact, there's over 128 universities that are offering over $15 million in scholarships today. And by the way, that's going to be exponentially bigger in the next couple of years. It's only going to get crazier from here. And if you had any doubt, the University of Washington recently opened up an esports lounge on campus. The total addressable market for esports is absolutely mind-blowing. It's huge. Hundreds of millions of people watch and participate in esports every day. By 2021, esports are projected to have a larger American audience than baseball, basketball, or any other sport other than the NFL. Young competitors play in front of millions of fans globally. Let's just talk about those fans really quickly. The average age of a Major League Baseball fan is over 55 years old. A PGA Tour fan is over 65 years old. And people who watch horse racing are over 60 years old. Esports fans are starting younger. They start playing games at 2, and then they sort of expand from there. Traditional sports are becoming less relevant to them. They don't care about football. They care about Ninja. And the Dota International is a competition with a fan-generated prize pool. The most recent one was $25 million. As you can see, Dota's prize pool dwarfs other sports, traditional sports, with a cash prize pool. And the crazy thing about this prize pool is it's funded by fans who play the game. They buy skins, and part of that skin revenue goes into the prize pool. Fortnite is giving away $100 million this year to any one of its players, or players. They're having a series of competitions, but the bottom line is they're giving $100 million away. You know, video game athletes have earned over $500 million in over 30,000 events to date. So when you start to examine the detail of esports, it starts to feel more like the Super Bowl. And this is starting to ring alarm bells with major brands. Major brands are trying to find a way to speak to millennials, and they don't know how. But some do. In the last few months, McDonald's decided to end their partnership with the German Football Association so they could double down on esports. And they created a partnership with the Electronic Sports League because they believe esports are the future of sports. This amazing ad uses the language of Counter-Strike. GLHF means good luck, have fun in gamer terms. Back in 2014, Nike wouldn't even take my phone call. But now they're going heavy on esports. Nike recently did an ad campaign featuring Uzi alongside LeBron James. Uzi is a League of Legends player from China. They also sponsored the League of Legends League. Nike did. So they signed a 4-year apparel deal with the League of Legends League in China. ESPN put Tyler Blevins on their cover. And Red Bull put Tyler Blevins' face on their can, man. On their can. Like, I've never seen an athlete on the can of Red Bull, but Tyler Blevins, Ninja, is on a can of Red Bull. Unbelievable. And back in 2014, I received an email from Mark Cuban about my startup, Unikrn. A few minutes later, and a couple of emails exchanged, he said, I'm in. Along with Mark Cuban, some of our celebrity investors were people like Ashton Kutcher, Sherry Redstone, Liz Murdoch. These were some of the earliest investors in esports, celebrity investors. And now, many major celebrities, including sports athletes, are looking for great investments in esports. And all of these people are getting involved with so many more. I couldn't fill the slide with all of them. And the city of Las Vegas is also investing in esports. You know, Las Vegas is the tourist capital of the world. Over 42 million people visited Las Vegas last year. And by the way, it continues to grow year over year. More and more people are going to Las Vegas every year. Young people are going to Las Vegas in droves. Not to gamble, they're going straight to the nightclub. And hiring a DJ like Marshmello can cost well into 7 figures. The slot machine was once the biggest revenue generator inside the casino. Unfortunately, the demographic isn't getting any younger. It's actually getting older. So they brought in Britney Spears and Pitbull and other celebrities to retheme these slots. They put in fancy displays, bells and whistles, speakers. They made them like little nightclubs. But young people still are not going to these slot machines. And I remember something that my youngest son said when we took them to Vegas recently. He said, Dad, look at that Britney Spears slot machine. There's a 150-year-old man using it. And he was kidding, but really, he kind of wasn't, because if you walk around the slots, you'll see that. And there is no doubt that this business is changing, and most people aren't ready for the change. Las Vegas is now working to diversify their economy by getting heavy into sports and esports. They created the Golden Knights, one of the best hockey teams in the league. They bought the Oakland Raiders. They're building a stadium, like a football stadium. They have a really great soccer team. You know, and these are just a few of the things that they're doing. If you fly into Las Vegas now, you're going to see something really new with the Luxor. There's a giant esports banner on the side of it. It's crazy. It's like a clash between the old guard and the new guard, you know, where the new is like the millennials, and how do you communicate with these millennials? They turned a 30,000 square foot nightclub into an esports arena. And these spaces are up and coming not only in Las Vegas, but all around the US and around the world. All they're missing are the systems to power regulated gambling in these spaces. And that's where we come in. So These are the problems that my company, see here I am at a TED Talk talking about how I'm a video game gambling guy, but this is what I do. These are the problems that my company Unikrn are solving. We're powering all of the regulated gambling in spaces like this and online. We're building the most comprehensive sports book for esports and video games in the world. My company is kind of weird. You know, we sit at the intersection of 3 of the most explosive industries on earth: sports betting, video games and esports, and blockchain and cryptocurrency. I love what I do, and that's why I do it every day. And I believe the future of this space is going to be pretty interesting, where we see a day where traditional sports and virtual sports kind of meet, where players will walk into a building and they'll strap on clothing filled with sensors and cameras. They'll wear an augmented reality headset so that they can immerse themselves in a different world. And they'll carry around props that replicate digital items within the game itself. And they'll be running around and playing like a futuristic version of laser tag, except it'll be like Halo or Call of Duty, where you're a player in the game. And then there's going to be people around the world watching and betting on the action. That's the future of entertainment that I believe is coming. So allow me to end this talk with a quick video of some of the cool things that we've seen in esports. And you're going to see the moment where Kuro won the Dota International with his team, and that led him to being the highest paid athlete for prize pools in the world. So he's earned more prize pool money than anyone else in this space.
Rotate. Cloud9. What is the play here? Oh, they're going to wrap, aren't they? They're going to wrap towards the B bomb site, but they're running so slowly. Cloud9 take a one-round lead, moving into... Cloud9, don't do it!
I can't even find the words to describe this.
This is so incredible from both teams. Reigns peaks and he gets the angle now. Superior angle. Is there a defuse for the CT side? They're not on it just yet. They're spamming the grenades. They're touching the bomb. And now goes Rain. Another bomb that is trying to defuse it again, but no! Guardian gets taken down.
My name is Rahul Sood, and you can find me on Twitter. Thank you.